Hello everyone. Sonnet 121 is the first part of our HSA syllabus. So let's move on to our first part of the HSA syllabus. Sonnet 121, and it is written by Shakespeare. First of all, let's know something about William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare was born on 26th April 1564 and he was died on 23rd April 1616. He is often called England's national poet and the Bard of Avon. He wrote 39 plays, 154 sonnets, and 2 long narrative poems. Shakespeare was born and raised in Stratford-upon-Avon, Warwickshire. At the age of 18, he was married to Anne Hathaway. Shakespeare wrote mainly tragedies, which include Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth. He also wrote tragicomedies. A famous poet, Ben Jonson, hailed Shakespeare in a now famous quote as not of an age but for all time. Now let's move on to the Sonnet 121 written by William Shakespeare. Sonnet 121 is an English or Shakespearean sonnet. It's one of 154 sonnets written by the English playwright and poet William Shakespeare. It is a member of the Fair Youth sequence in which the poet expresses his love towards his young lover. Now let's look for a detailed analysis of this sonnet. So let's look lines 1 to 4. 'Tis better to be vile than vile esteemed, when not to be receives reproach of being, and the just pleasure lost which is so deemed, not by our feeling, but by others seeing. In the first lines of Sonnet 121, the speaker begins by making a statement about being vile. Vile means immoral or being evil. He suggests that actually being vile is better than being considered vile when one isn't actually acting that way. The latter doesn't give one the opportunity to actually commit the vile act. One is labeled that way without the satisfaction of going through with something others disapprove of. In these lines, the speaker is vaguely suggesting that he dislikes hypocrisy and that he is going to focus on being himself. The speaker is also forced to consider whether or not his actions are truly vile. Now next lines from 5 to 8. For why should others' false adulterate eyes give salutation to my sportive blood? Or on my frailties why are frailer spies, which in their wills count bad what I think good? Now in the second quatrain, the speaker asks 2 questions. He wonders why others, those who are corrupt and now hypocritical, are allowed to criticize him. They have their own sins to be concerned with. His lustful attitude or sportive blood is his own issue. Or he adds, why should those same people comment on his life and decide what he thinks is good or bad? It is possible, the speaker alludes, that what one thinks is bad is actually good. This leads to the speaker's determined assertion that he is going to be truthful about his errors. This all relates back to the previous sonnets and his cheating. Now let's move on to the lines 9 to 14. No, I am that I am, and they that level. At my abuses reckon up thereon. I may be straight, they themselves be bevel. By their rank thoughts, my deeds must not be shown, unless this general evil they maintain. All men are bad, and in their badness reign. In the third and final quatrain, the speaker says that he is what he is. He isn't going to change for anyone, especially not the hypocrites. He is just condemned. When someone speaks out against him, they are only revealing themselves. They are just as bad, if not worse. It's possible that he may be straight and that they themselves be bevel or crooked or corrupt. In the final two lines of the poem, which make a rhyming couplet, the speaker says that one can't judge his actions in terms of corruptness. He doesn't want these sinful people passing judgment on him. That is, unless they are willing to admit that all men are bad and that they enjoy that position. Their reign thrive there. If they did this, they'd automatically stop being hypocritical. So this is a short analysis of the poem Sonnet 121 written by William Shakespeare. Thank you.